All right, welcome back, class. So we do have a guest speaker today, and like I said, a lot of these guest speakers that we bring in have the passion to give back. They have the heart to give to our community and help our community advance. And Mr. Andre Fabre is a great example of that. Anytime I've called him or Professor Lynn has called him, he's been there. Sometimes we've called him last minute and he still showed up. And so it's just really about showing up and showing that you really care and you're really here to help not only your community, but help those around you. And so that's something we all want you to be able to do as you develop your business is be able to give that helping hand. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it can just be your time. And so we do greatly appreciate his time. But just a little bit about Mr. Fabre is that he is the owner of Lunar Plus, a multi-purpose bag company that primarily focuses on helping you maintain a full charge on your devices so you always have the power when and where you need it. That's a powerful statement right there. He is also a partner of We Workin University, an online school that teaches everything you need to know about the music business. So let's just welcome Mr. Fabre.
Hey, thanks you for the introduction, Jamal. Hello, class. Let me turn this video, my camera on here so you guys can see me. Sweet, can everybody see me? Sweet. Hello, good morning. Yeah, so my name is Andre, originally from Chicago. Lived there in Denver for about 16 years now. A quick little summary of my background. I used to work in a regular 9-to-5 job, just like everybody else. Worked every job you could think of, McDonald's, Sonic, high school jobs. Worked my way up, then worked for Netflix. I worked for Netflix for 4 years. I was a manager there. But this was before Netflix were doing streaming. This was back in the DVD days where you had to ship the DVDs. They shipped the DVDs to you, you watched it, and you sent it back. So I was around that time frame. So left there. Then I started managing a nightclub in Denver, downtown Denver, where I was responsible of booking celebrity clients. So I've booked talent such as Future, G-Eazy, Post Malone, Kalani, Bow Wow. The list goes on. Every 2 weeks I was bringing out celebrities to host a night at the club. And I was doing that for 3 years. Made a lot of money. The thing about the nightlife scene in Colorado is it's after 3 years, the people here want something different. Colorado's really small, so everybody goes to the same club. Everybody sees everybody. Once you start seeing everybody every weekend, you get tired of seeing the same faces. You get tired of seeing the same layout inside the club. So people want different. So instead of me going through that transition or development with the clubs, I decided to take an exit and took the money that I made and started Lunar Plus. Now, Lunar Plus was started truly just based off an idea. I had no experience whatsoever. I just had an idea and just had a gut feeling and faith, really. I just knew that when I started Lunar Plus making backpacks, I just always wanted to be in the space that, for one, I wanted to be able to serve the people. Is this something that people actually need? Because even though I may want it, I think it's cool, but do people need this? So when you focus on the needs rather than a want, I think you really got something special, which is like something similar like to the service industry. Like, we all get our haircuts. So females, you go to your hairstylist. That's a need. That's not a want. Like for me, I gotta have my haircut. Like there's just not like every 2 weeks faithfully. If I don't have that, it's a problem. I don't feel confident. I look scruffy. My girlfriend tell me I need to get my stuff together. So it's just like you want, it's a need. So similar to backpacks. You guys in school, people need backpacks for students need backpacks. A lot of people like to use back for travel, hiking. It's a need, So another reason why I jumped into the backpack industry is because as I was doing my research, I realized that there wasn't a lot of African American or minorities at the top of the list when it comes to the top runners of the backpack space. You got Topo Design, you got Timbuktu, You got Patagonia, you know, you even got Nike making some backpacks, you know, but none of those brands had a black face to it. You know, as the owner, they may hire black people to be like ambassadors for the brand, but no CEOs. So I wanted to change that narrative. I felt like there's a reason why people's afraid of it to jump in, and I wanted to know why. So I took the leap of faith. Like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to take the bumps and bruises, and because I know it ain't going to be easy, but it's worth the journey. You know, so I took it. So started Lunar Plus, connected with a friend that helped me design my first bag, my backpack. I found a manufacturer in China. So a little bit about how products are made. Most products are made overseas. You can create the concept here, but then you have to find a manufacturer overseas. So luckily, I found one in China. They're all over. So there's some in China, there's some in India, there's some in Pakistan. You just got to find what manufacturer works for you and and willing to work with your budget. So luckily, I found one that was willing to work with me on the money that I was willing to spend, being it was my first time. So they took a chance on me. They allowed me to do a run with just 100 pieces, which is unheard of. I don't know if any of you guys watch Shark Tank, but I watch a lot of it. And, you know, the stories they tell, they say that you need, you know, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to start build a product. I realized that wasn't true, you know, and that's why sometimes it's like, it's cool to watch stuff on TV, but don't take it as the solely true, because a lot of time these shows will put fear into you where you don't even want to try it, you know? So me, I'm just like, you know what? I hear what they saying, but I'm gonna find out. I want to do my own research, and I'm glad I did, because I realized that that wasn't the case. So to start my brand, my first product, I think I spent about maybe $1,200 for my first run. So got the backpacks, no experience again. I just had a huge Facebook following, and I posted the bags on Facebook, and I sold 100 bags in like 3 days. Each bag, I was selling it for 120 each. Now, what's crazy about that is you do the calculation. So to make that bag, so just a wild guess, how much do you guys think it costs for me to make a bag per bag? How much you think each bag costs me to make? Can anybody guess?
$25.
Okay. Who else?
I was gonna say like maybe 15.
Okay. What about you, Jenny?
They were commanded in the
50.
name of Jesus Christ.
50?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Wherever you are at this moment.
All right. Well, you guys are all close. The correct price was $12. Cost me $12 per bag to make that bag, and I sold it for $120. Crazy, right? That's how it works when you're creating your own product. That's the same way with the shoes that we buy, the clothes that we wear. Everything has a manufacturer cost. You know, so like the shoes we wear, like Jordans, for example, Jordans might pay $10 to $15 to make a pair of shoes, but they sell it to us for $300. You know, so when people buy products, they buy for shoes for like Jordan. Michael Jordan himself made the brand. You know, so when you buy a pair of shoes, you're buying Jordan, his hard work, his story, everything that attached to that brand. Nike as well. So you create your value. And I felt like the product that I had value to it. I wanted to create, now I could have made the price a little lower, but I wanted Lunar Plus to have a standard. I wanted to mean something. I wanted to be a product with value. And I also, anytime you're setting a price to a product, you always want to see what your competitors are charging as well. You know, so I did that, and I felt like $100, $120 was a sweet spot, especially with all the features I was adding to the bag. So did that. Learned a lot with starting this backpack company, because at first when you're starting off, you know, you go through this, at least for me, I went through this point where sales were doing good for the first 2-3 months, and then it dipped, you know, and where I learned like very quickly was I tried to use my marketing from the nightlife scene, and what I did in like throwing parties and try to apply it to a product, and that's two different marketings. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you have to know what industry you're in, and you have to study that industry, and you have to learn how they do things there. You know, some of the skills that you have in another place, you may be able to pull certain things, but you can't use a formula for this. It's like you're trying to use a formula for one thing. You're trying to use that for, like, I'm trying to use a fun analogy. Let's just say chicken. Like, I can't use the way I make chicken. I can't use that same recipe and use it to make ribs. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? There's a different way, you know, like they have some similarities, you know, but you can't use the same ingredients for both. There's different things. So you have to learn, you have to study that. So took some time and learned that. And now I'm 3 years in it. 3 years in it, I've launched 3 products. I was able to lock in a deal as CU Denver Rare Campus through Professor Jamal and Professor Lynn. Literally just a leap of faith. They told me who I needed to go talk to. I didn't wait a second. I walked straight over to that same day. I'm a go-getter. I like taking chances, and I'm okay with someone telling me no. No is okay. I'm okay with saying no, but I can't live with regret. So I went and talked to her that same day, and I'm glad I did, because that ended up turning into an account. They ended up ordering from me just based off of me taking a leap of faith. So also as of recently, I locked in an account with Kaiser Permanente. I'm not sure if you guys know who that company is, but they're a huge healthcare company. They ordered over, I think it was like 550 bags for Christmas for their executives. So all the doctors in LA got my bags for Christmas gifts. And as of recently, now this is new news. We haven't even announced this yet. I don't know if you guys heard of the brand Be a Good Person, but they reached out to me recently, and we are coming out with a bag together. We did a collab. So it's actually a student bag. So Be a Good Person is a brand they've been around for a long time, but they've always wanted to do bags, but that's never been their lane. Their focus has always been apparel. The only company they've actually partnered with was Lululemon, and now it's Lunar Plus. So we are actually releasing a student bag. So it's going to be bags for students. It's releasing in August. And I am going to I'm going to share this with you guys to show you what that looks like. Professor, did you share that? Am I allowed to do the screen sharing, or?
Yes, sir. You should be able to.
Where is that at?
Yeah, I looked in my settings, and I definitely allowed. Let me see here, sir. Why don't I make you the host, so then you can definitely do it that way.
Okay, perfect. Sweet. Screen sharing, perfect. Let me just make sure I got this pulled up. Close that.
So as Mr. Fabre is pulling that up, what are some thoughts from you all? What's going through your minds?
I guess I'm thinking like, how like long would it take usually to get like a product that you're selling, like to get good revenue, or like, I don't know, like get it in a commercial or like something like that.
I'm sorry, can you say that? Can you ask that question again? I'm sorry.
Like if you're like selling a product, like say like your backpack, like do you have to get to like a certain point before you can start like using, I don't know, like you putting ads for it, or is it like you can just do that the second you have a product?
So there's a process when releasing a product. So there's phases that go into it. So you first is making the product. After you make the product, you have to go through a demo phase, so a testing phase. So that's what you allow someone to use your bag with. You always want to test it as well. My demo time frame is usually about 2 weeks, where I use it myself. I travel with it. I throw it around. I take it everywhere, you know, because I want to know the ins and out of the product, make sure it's comfortable on the back. I want to make sure that, you know, things are lasting. I literally want to use the bag thoroughly before releasing it to the public. So after doing that, you always want to have a marketing plan. And that's something I learned later on in my journey because I didn't have a marketing plan in place. I kind of just released the product and then just demoed it. Well, I demoed it first and released it, but I didn't have a marketing plan in place. So now I have a marketing plan in place. And marketing usually take about, I want to say at least 2 months, because there's so many things that go into marketing. You got to plan photo shoots. You got to plan your batch. Now we're in social media, so now you want to get influencers involved with your product, with your releases. You know, so that takes time. Then you have to work with your designer to make the cover art for your stuff, or if you're doing website changes, if you're doing ads, you're running ads. So that's its own time frame. What else? Trying to think. So you got your photo shoots, you got your designing time frame, then you got your influencers. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about it. And then also too, like for me, like so Lunar Plus is also on Amazon as well. So that's its own entity also. So I wanted to make sure that was like one of my biggest goals to get it on Amazon, which we accomplished last year. And the way Amazon works is it works the same way as Facebook. So you have to run ads on Amazon, and you're competing for ad space on Amazon because there's so many people on Amazon looking for different things. So you're literally bidding on keywords. That's really how Amazon operates. You're saying like, hey, when someone types in backpack, I want Luna Plus to pop up. You know, but backpack is such a common word, so that's going to be an expensive word for you if you want to bid on that word. So what I like to do, I like to bid on other words, like words that people may accidentally type, you know, or I may add something to it. Like, so instead of saying full, just saying backpack, I might put laptop bag or water resistant bag or just different keywords, you know, just to maximize your reach, you know. So you always want to have a list of keywords. Don't always just use one, because backpack, that's so common. Everybody's bidding on that one word. You want to have a list of words you're bidding on. So one of those are going to pop up for you. So, but to answer your question, usually, like I said, marketing to plan to release for a product is going to take about 2 to 3 months. Some brands is even longer, you know. So like if you're dealing with like a big corporation, their probably release time frame is like 6 months to a year, you know. So it all depends. I'm pretty sure Apple time frame, like the new iPhone, I'm pretty sure it's like a year or two before we actually see the new iPhone, like we actually have it in our hand, because there's just so much that goes into it. So it just really depends.
All right, Amira, go ahead and
Thanks.
ask your
Sure.
question.
This was more like an advice question, because for me, I personally like felt like giving up when I reached like a goal. So I needed like advice on that.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
This was more like an advice question. So I needed like advice on like how to reach my goal if I ever come to a point where I feel like I need to like give up. Oh,
I'm sorry. That's actually a good question. For me, because I go through that too. It doesn't matter what age you are. We all go through that at some point where you want to give up, you know. And for me, I always ask myself what my why is. My why is really big. What are you doing for? Are you doing it for cloud? Are you doing it to be known? Are you doing it for money? Are you doing it for your family? What are you doing it for? For me, it's my family. It's my son. It's having something solid, a foundation. You know, like when I leave this earth, I want my family to reap the benefits from everything that I created. You know, my family name means everything to me, you know, and I just want our name to mean something when I leave, you know, but it takes sacrifice. It takes sacrifice. And it's like you deep down have to know what your why is. I can't tell you what your why is, but you know what's important to you. You know, whether that's family, whether that's your mom, whether it's your dad, whether it's your siblings. Um, and it's like, for me, it's like, I understand that a lot of people don't want to be remembered. I do. I want to be remembered when I leave. I don't want to just be a regular name. You know, there's so many people on the planet, so many people, and not many people want to be remembered. I want to be remembered for something else, not to say, oh yeah, we knew this guy named Andre. You know, he's a cool guy. Like, nah. I want people like Andre made an impact. Andre made a difference. We have this because of Andre. That's what's important to me. I want to live even after I'm gone. And that started with just like right now, like the time I'm taking out from my schedule today is because it goes with my why. You see what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid to be here. It's the impact for me. It's a part of my journey. This is what I want to do. I want to be here to help you guys. I want to be able to inspire because hopefully you guys get something from this and can carry on and it will stay with you for the rest of your lives. You know, so it's never like, of course, we need money to survive and to, you know, take care of our families. But for me, it's the impact that's going to last. How do you want to be remembered? That's something you got to ask yourself. You want to remember it as, you know, just some regular person? Or do you want to be remembered as someone that actually took a chance on themselves and did something and made an impact? Did I answer your question?
Thanks.
Okay, sweet.
And yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Jalen, hold on, Mr. Fabre. I think
Sure.
Jalen
Sure.
I was wondering, how did you like decide on the price of like the bags you sold?
So I said that I believe I said that earlier, but so I always do my research on pricing. So anytime you're releasing a product, you want to see what your competitors are selling, also what they're charging also. So for example, my competitors would be Patagonia, Timbuktu. There's a company called Away Luggage where they sell backpacks and suitcases with the USB charging port on it as well. So I look and see what they were charging for that, and I kind of compared the price. So I didn't want to be too low, and I don't want to be too high. So I was like right in between. So for me, what I've learned, when it's too low, you're making it affordable for everybody, people look at it as cheap, you know? So, and like I said, I could have sold the backpack for $40 because I have margin to do that. But why would I do that? You know, because when you try, like, people want something that's valuable, that like, and for some reason it's just like that. Like, so it's crazy how the mind works. I can see two backpacks, right? One backpack may say $40 and the other one might say $100. But for some reason, we gonna buy the $100 one. Because if for some reason, just like something in our mind to say, okay, this has more value to it for some reason. It looks the same. Jordans are the same way. There's so many pair of shoes that you can get for a cheaper price. But we want we want things that's more valuable, like the price is higher for some reason. Like some of us, we like affordable things, but if we have the option to buy either or, a lot of us will go with the higher price because we feel like once we pay the $100, we feel different. Like, I just spent $100 on this bag, or I just spent $100 on these pair of shoes. It's a mind thing. It's crazy how there's actually a study on like why we buy certain things. I wish I knew the book or the podcast that I listened to, but it's very interesting on like how we're programmed to buy certain things. It's all programming, really. And if I find that link or that YouTube video that I saw, I'll send it to Professor and send it to you guys. But a lot of the things that we buy, it's like because you're constantly seeing all of the time. That's why ads is a big thing. People spend so much money on ads because sometimes you may see an ad the first time, you might not buy it the first time you saw it. You might see it again, you still won't buy it. But the more times you keep seeing that ad, you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy this. I done seen this too many times. I done seen my friend buy it too. I done seen this celebrity wear it. Ads are crucial to business. You know, it's a huge thing. You know, it's that consistency. That's like hearing a song on the radio too. Like, you may hear a song that you don't like, on the radio. You're like, I just don't like the song. By the 10th time you heard that song, you probably know the lyrics to it. Because they didn't play it so many times. You're like, look, I hate this song. Now I like it now. They didn't play it so many times. It's just like, it's the way they program the mind. So, but to answer your question on the price, I always compare prices with my competitors and see what they're charging and kind of find a sweet spot. Mm-hmm. Did I answer your question? Okay, cool. For some reason, Professor, my screen isn't working. It's telling me I need to change some settings on my desktop. But so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add the file in the chat. Let's see.
Okay.
So what I'm going to show you guys, this is called a tech pack, and this tech pack is, I'm going to be showing you guys the new backpack I'm getting ready to release in August. So no one has seen this yet. See your computer. So this is what you send to the manufacturer, so you know exactly how to make your product. It's very detailed. The specs, you have your dimensions, what you want, what it should look like. There it is. So there, you guys getting it? You guys see it?
Yes.
Let me know when everybody has it open. Did everybody open it? Yes, no? Did everybody get a chance to open it?
Like I have to download it first on.
Okay, cool. What about you, Jalen?
I can share it on the screen.
I still have to keep downloading it.
Yeah, please share, Professor Lynn.
Yeah, if you can, Professor, you can share, that'd be great.
I got it.
Okay, sweet. So what you guys are looking at is a tech pack. So that is my new product that I'm releasing. So I designed this in March. So that kind of let you know how long this stuff takes. So we are now in June? Yeah, so I built this in March, we're now in June, and we're releasing in August. So first page is just a overview of what the bag is. So I went for a more type of JanSport type of style for this new bag. As you see, you got the Lunar Plus patch at the top, Lunar Plus zippers, the Be a Good Person logo at the bottom. You scroll down, the abstract, that is the details of the bag. Scrolling down, you see the entire backpack should be made from this material. That is what the whole bag is gonna be made of. So the whole bag is gonna be made of rubberized rubber. So it's gonna be waterproof. Next slide, you got your critical details. You got your dimensions. So the web haul is the hook at the top. You have the dimensions of the bag. Just go down. So the next page is the same thing. You see, you have the USB port on the side. You can charge your phone. You got your front pocket, the zippers, and you see it says custom rubberized puller. So you have the zipper is going to be rubberized with the Lunar Plus logo on it. Next page, you see the water bottle slot pocket on the side, as well as more zippers. And then the logo, the how I want the Be a Good Person to be printed. So it's gonna be a screen print, also gonna be water resistant. Next page, you got your laptop sleeve inside, padded laptop sleeve. It's gonna be 11.5, it's gonna fit 11.5 laptop, so like a 12-inch laptop. Next slide. You have the inside pockets inside. So you got a pencils pocket. You're gonna have a little deep pocket as well for like markers, glues, little odds and ends you guys want to throw in your bag. Also, there's gonna be a custom puller inside as well. Inside the bag as well, there's gonna be on the next page, that is a power bank mesh. So in order to charge your phone, you're going to have a power bank or like an external power bank or a Mophie, if anyone is familiar with that. So you're gonna plug the battery inside the bag, which then is gonna allow you to charge your phone when you put your iPhone cord on the outside of the bag. So the whole objective is to, anytime you guys are out, you guys need to charge your phone, you don't have to go inside your bag. You literally just put your iPhone cord on the outside of the bag into the USB port and charge your phone that way. So again, this is called a tech pack. So something like this, if I was working with a huge company, like let's just say a brand wanted to reach out to me and they wanted me to make a tech pack for them, what you guys looking at, I would have charged them $5,000 for this. That's how much something like this costs. This is a tech pack. Any questions? So there's so much that goes into designing. So you go through your design phase. So first is the concept. Then after you have the concept, then you make the tech pack. Then after you make the tech pack, you have to send to the manufacturer to get a sample. Now that's a lot of when I first started that, I didn't know what I know now, which I'm glad I had the knowledge I have now. But can anybody take a guess how much all three of those things cost? If someone came to me and say, hey, Andre, we want you to make a product for my company. We want to make our own backpack. We want you to design it. We want you to make a tech pack and get a sample. How much you guys think all of that will cost? There is no wrong answer. Everybody take a guess.
If you sell it for 5,000, then I'm gonna guess that it costs somewhere around $200, $300.
No. So if the tech pack costs $5,000, how much you think the design? How much you believe that the tech pack, the design fee, and the sample fee costs all together? Now remember, the tech pack costs $5,000. How much you think more does the design and the sample fee cost?
Almost say maybe another grand, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Jalen?
I think it costs 10K.
All right, actually, that is the minimum cost for all three, 10K. The most will be 30,000. So you're dealing with like a huge corporation. What I just showed you guys with the sample fee, I would have charged them $30,000 for that. But for someone like a local company, like a local brand, someone that's just starting out, I would have charged them 10,000 because I designed the bag, I made the tech pack, and I got the sample from my manufacturer. So something like that to make a tech pack, that probably would have took me about 5 hours to make that tech pack. The concept probably took me 2 hours. The design to get the sample took about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So not a lot of time, right? Not a lot of time. Just dedication and knowledge. You know, a lot of people sell themselves short because they don't have the knowledge. You know, so when people come in and they feel they know that you're don't know what you're doing, or they feel like you're not confident with what you're doing, they're gonna lowball you. But if you set your standard and you come in knowing what you're talking about, hey, I can do all of that for you guys. It's gonna cost 10 grand though. They're gonna look at you different. Like, oh wow, he knows his worth, he knows his stuff. Of course I do. It's my business to know that. You know, so you guys have to, whatever industry you guys are hopping into, make sure you do your research thoroughly. Know what you're getting to. Know how much everything costs. You know, you don't want to be setting prices and you're just way overpriced than what other people are charging. Make sure you're doing the right, make sure that you're either charging the same price or a little bit lower, a little bit higher, however you want to do it. But just know the ins and outs of your business. No one should be coming into you and telling you what you should be charging. You should be telling them, you know? So you guys are young though. You guys got a lot of time to figure out what you want to do. But just learn. Right now, we in the age where my parents, knowledge wasn't as free as it is back then, like how it is now. You literally can log on your phone and find out, so you can learn literally anything you want to know on your phone, literally. Back then, my parents used to have to go to the library to learn. You had to go to the library. There was no log into, Google or YouTube, it wasn't none of that. Information was not free. Now it is, so there's no excuse why you shouldn't be able to learn anything. Just time. For me, I literally listen to an audio book a day. I'm not a big reader. I can't, I'm on a go all the time. So I can't sit down and actually read. When I do have time, I do. For me, my AirPods stay in all day. I'm listening to a book. Like right now, the book I'm listening to right now is called the 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. When you get time, listen to it. It's about how it's important to wake up at 5 a.m. and get your day started and what you should be focusing on when you get up, the dedication that it takes to be successful. So 5 a.m. Club, that's a book you guys should read. I highly recommend it. It's really good. I've actually read it 3 times. What else? So outside of that, Professor, I didn't tell you this. I'll tell you Jamal as well. So I was recently pulled back into the music industry. So a friend of mine just opened up a recording studio in Denver, and I literally went down there just to see the space. Had no intentions whatsoever, and they played. I asked them to play some music that from like I wanted to see what I had been recording there, and they played me this artist from there, man. And this kid's special, 19 years old. He's a pop artist, white kid. His name is Graham Wallflower. He's off the grid. He hasn't released anything. So as you guys, professional guys know, I have a really good connection with Atlanta Records. So my guy is a head A&R over there at Atlantic. So I sent him the records and I told the artist, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna make any promises here. I'm going to send my music to my friend. If he doesn't like it, I wish you luck. But if he does, I'm willing to take this journey with you again. This journey. I've been out of the music industry for 5 years. I used to manage a lot of you guys. I didn't mention that in my my spiel earlier, but I used to manage songwriters, producers a few years ago as well. I kind of left the industry to kind of focus on Lunar. And recently met this kid, and he writes his own songs. And I sent the records over to Atlantic, and they loved them. So 3 weeks ago, we got invited to record in LA. We were there for 3 days. They loved him so much, they let him stay for 8 days to record. While we were there, we got to meet David Guetta. David Guetta is a huge EDM DJ. He's actually signed to Atlantic as well. He actually walked in while we was there. It was pretty cool. He came and talked to us. Then we came back, and we just been recording. And then I got a call yesterday from my A&R friend and told me that he was in New York. They had a meeting regarding Cardi B's album because she's working on her album. And he ran into the pop A&R in New York, and he told him about Graham. So he sent this music over to them the day before yesterday, and they responded yesterday morning and said they love him and that they want to have a meeting with him in New York. So then later on yesterday, I get another call, and we're just like, change of plans. I know we told you guys we wanted you to meet with the A&R, but now the president wants to meet you guys, and he wants to meet you in LA instead in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we're going to be flying out to LA to have a meeting in Atlanta Records, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So
Wow.
yeah. This kid is like the best way to describe him, he's like a Ed Sheeran type of vibe. Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, Charlie Puth type of artist. 19 years old. Kid, he's from Broomfield. Yeah, he's a star. He's a star. And I was just like, okay, if I'm gonna take this chance, and in my gut again, just faith and just like knowing, like when you just know. And you don't know how it's gonna work out, but you're willing to take that chance. And I'm glad I did. So yeah, we're heading back to LA in 2 weeks. That's why I say I'm here in Denver now, but I'm heading out here in a little bit.
Yeah, congrats, Dre.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
man, that's awesome.
I think Amira had a question. Share her hand.
Yeah, I kind of raised my hand a little later, but this was going
Sure.
back to the backpack thing. Yeah, so you said 10K, and you said like you charge people 10K, So I was wondering, is it like 10K for one bag or like a set?
It's one bag. One bag. Here's why. So when you charge that price, you're basically giving over the rights to that bag. Once I give them the design and everything, they can sell as many bags they want, and I don't get no percentage of that whatsoever. That's why it's so much. Is because without them paying that fee, I still own the rights to that bag. I can do whatever I want to it with it. I can go sell it. I can. So what you're doing? So basically, if they don't pay that 10K, they're doing a licensing with me. They don't own the bag. They don't own the design. They just licensing. I designed it. So if you guys want to own it, the whole thing is gonna be 10,000. After you pay that 10,000, you can sell as many as you want to. So that's what it is. It's an ownership fee. That's the best way to explain it. It's like, okay, I like this bag. We want to own it now. How much is it going to cost to own it? Cool, it's 10K. For a big company, it's 30K because they're going to make way more money than that. You understand? So like when I say big companies, just imagine, let's just say Nike say, hey, Andre, we love this bag. We want to buy it from you. You think Nike's only going to make $30,000? They're going to make millions off that one bag. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. You guys sell whatever you want. Just give me 30,000. I'm good.
Thanks.
Or you can structure it a different way. Sometimes people do a royalty thing. You're like, look, I'll take a lower upfront fee, but I want royalties on the back end. So there's so many ways you can structure that deal. But yeah, that's why the price is so high for one bag. And that's just not for bags, that's for any product. Anything that you come up with that you make, if somebody wants to own that, the fee gonna have to be really, really high.
Thanks.
No
Again.
problem.
All right, one last question because we're running over time.
Any other questions?
I'll do one. So I know you touched on it a little bit. You talked about impact. That's all you want, is to be able to create impact. Even when you're gone, people will remember what you've done. Can you give them some examples of ways that they can be an impact with their business?
Yeah, for sure.
Or you can
For
just
me,
describe ways you've been an impact with your business to the community. How about
sure. So like right now, like my biggest impact is my time, like I feel like everything doesn't have to be about making money, like I feel like time is way more valuable for me. Like I'll give my money too. I've even given out free bags for Lunar. Um, just because of that, I just know the impact is going to leave, so there's so many ways to leave an impact. There's going to be things that in community. It's really about showing up. That's really what it's about. Showing up. And a lot of people, that's as crazy as this may sound, sometimes that's the hardest thing for people. Is showing up. Because everybody else got so many other things they got going on. Oh, I gotta do this, or I gotta do that, or I gotta do this. Okay, cool. If other things are more important to you, go do that. You're not gonna be remembered for anything. You're going against what you want for yourself. And a lot of people don't align themselves properly. They may say they want it, but they don't do the action. That's the thing. You can't just talk it, you gotta live it. And that's the challenging thing. People gotta understand, like, just speaking is just one part of it. You actually have to do it. And you have to be okay with that. Like this means more to me than what I was already planning on, what other things I had going on, So it's never a thing when anytime Professor Jamal or Lynn hit me up, it's never a question for me because it aligns with my why. You know what I'm saying? I know my why is. You have to be so confident in that. It's like, I don't care if a friend want to hang out. I'm sorry, guys, I got to do this. That don't align with my why. This does. Now, after I do this, we can hang out, not before. You know. Oh, Andre, we want you to meet with this guy. You know, he want to talk about deals. Cool, I can do that after I do this, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people like to put money before their why, their spouse before their why, you know, and it's like, you got to kind of know what works for you. Now, if you're married, that's a different conversation, you know, that's a different conversation. The wife and the husband come first, you know, but would you guys ain't married, your why should be the strongest thing in your life right now. Whether, like I said, whether it's your mom, your dad, your siblings, you, whatever, that comes first. You have to be that determined where somebody say, hey, let's go do this. And if it's going against what you want for yourself, and just don't think about the right now. You gotta understand all your decisions you make right now is going to affect what you guys doing in the future. Literally. And I know you guys may have heard that before. It's so serious though. It's so serious. Like your time, this time right now, where you at right now is so crucial. You do not want to be in your 30s and 40s and trying to figure it out with as much information that's out in the world for free. Your parents are depending on you guys. You are the future. Literally, everything they ever wanted, you guys have it at your fingertips. Literally. I'm pretty sure there's times where, you know, my dad, you know, my dad was around. My dad passed away almost a year and a half ago, and he struggled. It was a challenge for him because things were just moving at a rapid pace, and they just couldn't understand it. You know, you guys are so young, and you guys are adapting way quicker than your grandparents did or your parents did. You know, some of us adapted, some of us didn't, and the ones that didn't got left behind. And it's not pretty for the ones that got left behind. You don't want to get left behind thinking that you guys got time. Every day matters. I'm serious, guys. Like every day matters, you know? And you're young and still have fun. I'm not saying for you guys to be adults, grow up so fast right now. But what I am saying, understand where you're at, figure out what it is that you are into. And you guys, it's going to change so many times though. I've been in so many careers. I've tried different things, and that's you guys at the age. Try everything. Try it all. Make the mistakes. Learn from them, but try it all though. Don't limit yourself to one thing, because that one thing, it may work, it may not. But you gotta understand. Okay, cool. If it doesn't work, cool. Let me try something different. I've done that so many times. Like I just told you guys, I was working for Netflix. I didn't work in restaurants. I didn't work in nightclubs. I didn't done managing artists. Now I'm making backpacks. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the journey. Literally, you gotta understand we're all on a journey. And it's not a straight line. It's literally not a straight line. It's gonna be like this the whole way. Sometime it's gonna go and it's gonna ride for a while though. But that's that sweet spot. Once you find that sweet spot and find out what you're really good at, oh, that's where you're cruising. That's where you're cruising. That's where you want to get to. And right now, y'all at that age where y'all can learn everything you need to know. So when you're my age and professor's age, oh, you guys are cruising. Because y'all did the work early. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today because that's, again, it's about showing up. You guys showed up today. You guys are already ahead of a lot of kids because you showed up today. So I appreciate you guys showing up and, you know, understanding the severity of your lives, you know? Have fun. Please enjoy this. This world was designed to have fun. But figure out what your why is and stick to that. And after hearing all you guys too, like I'm already knowing, like you guys have it in you to be whatever it is, what just you want to be. But just don't be a name though. Be remembered. Want to be remembered for something. So That's my time, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Andre. We
No
appreciate you.
problem.
Thank
I'm
you.
go-
Thank you.
I'm going to drop my
Whatever on Facebook,
Jamal, did you put the website in the chat?
Yeah, I did. I'll
Okay.
share it again.
Okay, cool. So when they get time, they can click on the website, check out the bags.
and whenever I pray for my persecutors, help me truly mean because I know that no one is unlovable in yours. And if you have forgiven us.
All right, thank you, brother. Yeah, let me share this. I did share it, but I don't know if they saw it. So
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't think it was like an actual. Was it an actual link or just I see it?
I'll share the actual link.
Okay, cool.
All right, here you all go.
The bags are dope. I still have mine, man. It's my go-to for the beach. It's waterproof. It's legit.
I appreciate
Legit
it.
bag. And I mean, it looks the same as when you first gave it to me. I mean, that's been what, 2 or 3 years ago. So
Yeah, that's love. That's love.
yes, sir.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here. I appreciate your times again, Professor Lynn, Jamal. Thank you again for inviting me. It's always a pleasure. Talk to you guys soon.
Talk to you
All
soon,
right.
brother. Thank you.
brother.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
All right. Spoken from a true entrepreneur who's out here making it happen. That's right downtown, Union Station, Denver. Beautiful bags. Yeah, I have the pod. Love that bag. I call it my dad bag. My kids know it as the dad bag.
But yeah, I shared it all with you all. Anything else you want to make sure you're doing your classwork?
Yeah, so the next assignment coming up is actually to dive a little bit deeper into one of our superhero companies. So the assignment is to go to the Fortune 500 list. I have the link inside of the classroom here. So if you go to week 1, you'll see it as the Fortune 500. And inside of there, I have the link to the list. I even have a little video so you can find out how diverse are the leaders. It's not very diverse. You only have 44 women and 6 African-American CEOs that lead Fortune 500 companies. So that's not even, what is that, 10%? Not even 10%, because some of the CEOs are Black females. So that's the best they can do? No. We need y'all to represent. We need you to understand how impactful these companies are. So I want you to just pick one out of the list. You're going to recognize quite a few of them. So if you want to take Amazon, Nike, or what have you, maybe one of your favorite brands, I want you to do a little analysis by clicking on their profile and finding out how much they bring in, what are their main products and services, how many employees they employ, what is their assets, who is their CEO, where's their headquarters located. You might be surprised, like Burger King headquarters used to be in Miami, now it's in Canada. So a lot of these companies change, especially when there's a change in government or government leadership. They like to take advantage of taxes, cheaper taxes elsewhere. So make sure you are registered. Amira, I don't know. I know I sent an invitation to your email. So check your email. If not that, then you can go in here and I'll put it in the chat for you, the link. Okay. All right, any questions before we sign off for today? My apologies for going over about half an hour, but I think this was a power-packed one. I really appreciate Andre's insight. And I mean, as you can see, what would you call him? What type of entrepreneur would you call him? Wealth builder, social, green, what?
A wealth builder.
You might be having interest in, and if you
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. I would throw in a little bit of lifestyle artist in there as well. He definitely has a love for music and obviously a good ear for talent. So I hope he does well with that new artist and that we get a chance to hear his stuff out there one day, and we'll be like, oh, I know the guy who launched his career. He discovered him.
Yeah. Discovered him.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. All right, y'all. Any questions before we sign off?
All right. Thank you all. Have a great week.
All right, thank you.
Thank
See
you
you next
guys.
Monday.